My name is Susan Pratt, and I will be your field placement professor in January. This presentation provides 5th semester CPA students with information about their mandatory, as in required to complete in order to graduate, Monday, April 11th to Friday, May 6th field placement, and advice about securing a placement in November or December 2021, instead of waiting until January to find one. In the CPA program, students are required to find and secure their placement. The CPA faculty and administration team do not provide students with a list of potential employers, coordinate applications, coordinate interviews with employers, and then assign placements. Instead, we expect you to use the skills learned in the program, like the elevator pitch and informational interview process from ITSE, to identify a potential field placement host, contact them, give an elevator pitch explaining who you are, what you do, and why hosting you is a great idea, and then negotiate a placement. These are the same skills you will need when you graduate and conduct a job search. I strongly encourage you to begin your search for a field placement now. If you are not successful in securing a placement before January 2022, I will be available to support and assist you with identifying potential employers. And Liz Campbell, the School of Business, IT, and Management Field Placement Officer, will post on the college's Work Integrated Learning database a very limited number of field placement opportunities from employers who are looking for field placement. Before you start looking for a field placement, verify that you're eligible for field placement. The CPA Field Placement Manual summarizes the eligibility requirements. If you are not going to be eligible for field placement in January, maybe because you're missing a Gen Ed, contact Heather Dunlop, your student advisor, to discuss your situation. Links to this manual and other resources are in this presentation are posted in the final slide. So next, read the CPA Field Placement Manual, which describes the rules and procedures for the 160-hour placement. Please note that there are numerous pre-placement rules and procedures that must be followed in addition to the ones in the manual. We'll talk more about these in January. When you're ready to begin your search, think about your specific goals and requirements for your field placements. What kinds of IT skills would you like an opportunity to apply at a placement and get feedback about from your employer? Is it important for you to build your professional network in a specific geographical area so you'll have local references when you apply for jobs when you graduate? Once you've thought about your specific goals and requirements, you'll need to do some research to identify potential field placement hosts. You may need to contact several employers before you find one who is willing to host you. So it's good to start this process now. Don't forget, LinkedIn is also a good source. Check out your professor's LinkedIn profiles to find connections in the industry and to recent graduates who might have some tips and suggestions. For your information, I've included links to the short videos I created for your ITSE informational interview assignment, which provide instructions on how to use Scott's Business Directory to identify potential employers in Ontario and beyond. Contacting an employer can be awkward and anxiety-inducing, just like when you ask someone if they'd be willing to be interviewed for an informational interview in ITSE. The best way to prepare for this phone call is to prepare a script. Get feedback on your grammar, writing style, and organization if you choose to email someone instead of calling them. Practice speaking to a potential employer before you call them. Record yourself and listen to make sure your message is clear, organized, and has appropriate volume, pace, tone, and pitch. Consider role-playing your phone conversation with a friend or a family member. I've included a slide with a sample script. I encourage you to pause the video or download the PowerPoints to take a look at it. Once you've kind of done your sales pitch and someone might be interested, you will need to identify their experience and credentials. If you will not be supervised by an employee with 3 or more years of full-time work experience in the IT field with recognized IT credentials, explain to the employer that you must submit a request for permission to secure a placement with an employer without IT credentials or experience form to me, Susan Pratt, your professor. If I approve your request, complete the remaining sections of the field placement employer form with the employer. This will ensure you and the employer have a clear understanding of what you will be doing at placement. Before the placement starts or during the first few days, together with the employer, you'll be encouraged to complete a work plus hours contract to identify the very specific tasks you will do, when you will do them, and how much time you will take. You may want to discuss these topics now to confirm the field placement will address your goals and requirements. Ask the employer to CC you when they submit the form to Elizabeth Campbell. Be sure to reply to that email and reply to me. So maybe just CC me so that I know you've secured a placement and so Liz knows you've secured the placement and doesn't think that the employer was just contacting her with a posting. When I receive your email, I will acknowledge your message and I will also contact the employer. And this will confirm you have that placement. And when you receive this confirmation email from me, you will know that you're approved to complete your placement hours with this employer. Students who have been unable to independently secure a placement, again, I will provide assistance in January. As promised, links to all of the documents mentioned are available here. So open the PowerPoint presentation once it gets posted and you'll be able to click on the links. If you have any questions about the CPA field placement, read the CPA field placement manual. If you still have questions after reading the manual, please email me at susan.pratt@durhamcollege.ca. Thank you.